welcome back to the channel, guys and gals. So I promised a video a couple of days ago about modifying Menards track 10-inch section. This is a test piece that I'm doing, and to show you how to modify it to get a more realistic approach out of O gauge track. This is not O27, this is O gauge. This is Menards track. So first thing is, I have these, if you remember right in a previous video, I was talking about the quarter-inch by quarter-inch square stock that I bought for 99 cents at Hobby Lobby. Here's the quarter-inch square stock. Okay? After taking one of them, I've already cut them down. And what I used as the measurement to make sure that it was correct with the ties was this. The tie plate on the Menards track. Now if you've noticed, there is a modification already done. What I've gone and done, and this is pretty much how you can do it, okay? Depending on how you're going to lay it down, whether you're going on top of wood, straight to a wood platform, or if you're going down on top of foam board. I would recommend that if you go on top of foam board, tack it. Use a rubber cement like Elmer's rubber cement and lay it down and then put your track down. Now the modification is right here, can go one of two ways. There is 2 screw holes right here. So if you choose to put one of your quarter-inch by quarter-inch ties in here, be sure to use a smaller screw. If you're going straight down on top of wood, use a very small nail, pre-drill your hole, and then tack it, and it's good. The other thing is if you're using a foam or cork roadbed underneath it. Now, when I start building my layout, I'm going to be using some stuff called EV foam that you can get at Hobby Lobby. They sell three different thicknesses. One's about like that. It's real thin. Another one is probably, I don't know, it's not a quarter-inch. That would be the third one. The third roll is a quarter-inch thick. But probably, let's say the middle one is probably be around what a cork roadbed would be. And that is actually what I'm going to do and cut my own roadbed. And it will be going straight down on top of wood. So I will be able to make this. And again, don't worry if you keep one lip right here for securement on each end of your track. If you choose not to, lay down this, tack down the center section. Because with that foam roadbed, when you tack it, it's going to shrink into that foam roadbed a little bit. It's still going to be damning. By the time you add your roadbed, whatever it is, whether or not you're using Woodland Scenics, fish tank aquarium gravel, which by the way works very well on O gauge track. Chicken grit is another one that works really good with O gauge track. But prototypically, chicken grit is one of the better ones. It's very similar to Menards. It's very fine. It's not, but if you get more of it, 10-pound bag for like $15. And that's a whole lot cheaper than Woodland Scenics. My only suggestion with that is whether or not you use chicken grit or chick grit. Be sure to run a magnet through it because it is granite, and you don't want metal shards getting into your stuff. So a little bit at a time, just do that. So let's get into what we're going to do. Please excuse me here real quick. Alright, so we're just going to say for purpose that this is my board I'm going on, okay? And we're just going to pretend for right now that there is foam roadbed up underneath it. Don't have to be, but we're just going to pretend it. So for what we're going to do is take your tie, you're going to slide it in, and get your alignment to how many pieces you want between each section. Now the first time I did this, was on my display. Okay, so you can see right there, there's 5 ties right there, laid in. Now, if you were to screw it down and tack it, um, of course, granted, yes, it will tighten down very much in here, okay? Yeah, I tilted it, it came loose. Uh, if you choose to do it this method. Now, there is another way that you do it. And of course, right here, again, that goes back to that same thing I was telling you about if you put a tie in there, make sure you use a nail, a thin nail. You can paint your ties any color you want. If you get really, really desperate, if you want to call it that, you could remove this center plate and these ties and actually go get the, I can't remember if they're HO scale or O scale nail ties, and you can actually nail your track all the way down. If you wanted to. I'm not suggesting that because that's a whole lot of work right there. But the other way to do this is that you can take a little bit of glue, line them up, and glue them to your rail before you put it down. Because either way, when this goes down and it's completely 100% in there and tightened down with your either your screws or your nail, these are not going to move. Even if with using a ballast underneath it, the ballast is going to lock these in. Okay, you're not going to have no issue there. So let's do this another way. Okay, so we've seen that right there. Okay. All right. Now, when you're doing this, if you decide to go this way with it, do not get anything on that center rail. I mean, you could, because wood, it's not going to conduct anything. But for the purpose of making sure that that center rail stays clear, don't put any glue on it, okay? So what I'm going to do is come up here. I'm going to use this little thing right here my daughter gave me. Just going to kind of scuff up the surface a little bit. I hope y'all are getting a good angle on this. I really do. Of course, the first time I did this, I actually had to make my own rail ties because I wasn't in an area that sold 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch, so I was making my own rail ties using popsicle sticks and glued them together, and that is a big pain in the butt. So we're going to kind of set these out here. Now, when you're doing this, I would suggest, if you're going to use this method, be sure to go ahead and cut both of these ends off so that you can line your boards up, your stuff up. can also mark them on the bottom side of your track if you're going to do this method. Uh, that works out. Sometimes just eyeballing, you get a better measurement. Kind of depends on what you're doing. And when I did do the measurement on this, it was like 0.714, something like that, but it was a weird number. Just a little drop is all you need. I need that piece. Come back here. Again, take these 5 pieces out. Rough up your bottom surface a little bit. I do not suggest doing that center rail, as that's your power rail. Just, it's not really gonna matter. Leave it. Again, you can do these as close as you want or as wide out as you want. Some people do prefer to use the classic wide method on these. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Well, some people would probably tell you flip it over, then slide your ties in. You can do it that way too. It's not really going to matter. I mean, it's all your preference of what you're after, and what you're going to do. One thing I will say is that doing this method right here, you will be having to do a lot of painting in between. Okay, look at that. that is actually very nice. Nice approach to it. You can leave that lip right there on each one if you need to, because your ballast, again, your ballast is all covered. Now, my method to getting this off right here, I did cut it. And what I used was my Dremel and then ground it down smooth. You don't have to ground it down smooth if you don't want to. Completely up to you on that issue. I know, here goes the part where somebody's going to yell out, "Sacrilege!" Do this before you do all of that. You got a bandsaw, you can use a bandsaw. Now, as you can tell, that took a couple of seconds. By the way, just to let y'all know, if you choose to use a Dremel when doing this, just remember that little piece right there is burning red hot. Flatten that piece back out. Make sure it's flat. Don't have to, but I'm doing it for the general purpose of this video. Again, you're going to have a little ridge right there. Take your file, just file it. Just try not to mess with that area right there, your insulation sheet. If you do it this way on this end right here, you will see why here in just a second. That I did that. Doesn't look a whole lot better than saying just 3 things like this. This big wide open gap looks so much better. Now again, like I said, once you go to start tacking this down, and if you're using a foam road board, this is going to settle in. Hey, get off there. Okay, that wasn't supposed to do that. Oh well, okay, retack it. That was wasn't supposed to do that. Guess I didn't have time to set up all the way. But anyways, you can do this like that. I mean, it's if you still want to keep this fish plate, you can do that by simply drilling a hole and making sure that you're going like between the ties, but still keeping your tie holes. If you were to do that method, then your next one would pretty much be right here. Okay, that right there by itself. Let's see if I can just kind of get a rough little thing right there. Probably not. Oh yes, I can. There you go. You can see you don't really notice this plate in there now. And what I've done is this end, where this fish plate is, it's not even glued down. It's just slipped in up underneath. Just a little bit of sanding right there, it'll take care of that. Be the same thing on this end. You can do this all the way around. Now, if I remember right, when I bought this 10-inch section from Menards, it was like $1.99. Okay, so I bought these 1/4-inch square stock, quarter by quarter, for 99 cents at Hobby Lobby on sale. So we're going to say 50 cents each. And of course, they're probably like $1 now since the sales went off. But hey, even at that, $1.50 each. Okay. Right now, the sale price, off sale, we're going to say $1. We still got a couple of pieces left over for doing this area. And we still got one more we can do right there. You've used one stick, okay? That's $1. So without the sale price. One stick, $1. $1.99 on the 10-inch section when I bought it. So we have what? $3 tied up in it? $4? You're still coming out cheaper doing this than the Lionel Fast Track. Just say it. Don't have to follow that, but you can. I like the looks of it. I like how it turned out. Now painting, painting is going to be a pain in the butt. You can try staining them before you put them on. It should work. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't. Especially if you know where you're going to be lining it up, make your mark on your rail tie, and kind of sand that area, and then boom, boom, and line them up and paint them before you put them on. You can do that with black, or stain them black, or whatever method you want to use. For me, what I'm going to be doing is I will be doing this method. To me, this is more a realistic look. Okay, that's kind of what I was after. Was a more realistic look without the price tag of Lionel Fast Track. The more I've worked with Menards track, the more I've liked it. I wish Menards would come out with a lineup of actual wood ties like this in their lineup. I think that'd be really cool. Using just their style of O-gauge rails with this. It's kind of like the Lionel Super O or Gargrades. That's how it's mimicking. So this is like really cool because from the top it looks like that. And once you paint it, which I'm out of black paint right now, so I can't do that, you barely notice it. And I think, honestly, between what I'm going to do as far as the menards track, the layout will be menards track, and be using Hobby Lobby square stock, or when I get to menards, their square stock wood as well. And the whole layout will be done that way, except for the switches. The switches will be Ross Custom switches. 072 are bigger because I do run 096 curves because of my stock being, my rolling stock being so large. I continue that. We'll use chick grit for ballast. Again, the EV black foam from Hobby Lobby. I'll be using the middle section, but about the same thickness as a quart roadbed, and securing it down. So as soon as we start building the layout, here they're probably next month? Well, yeah, sometime next month we will be starting it, and we're gonna take it from there. So this is what I was wanting to show y'all in the video I wanted to get out, so to give y'all a general idea of things that you can do with the menards track and have a great time with it. Also, the Hymic locomotive that I purchased, I did measure it out, and believe it or not, it is dead on 1/48 scale. I was really shocked. The only difference was width-wise. If you go by 1/43, it's off just a little bit. Go by 1/48, it is actually dead on except for the width. I get it why the width is like that, because of the fact in Britain their tunnels are very narrow, and a lot of their areas over there are narrow, so they don't have a lot of like really huge locomotives that we do over here. So that was pretty cool to find that out and realize that everything was within scale, O-scale standard length and height. So that was cool. But again, going back to the rail track, here you go. And let me tell you what, that nice little piece just became a whole lot heavier. And that was how I quieted it down. I'm going to do some more like this. We're going to do some 30-inch sections. And then do some 096 and 072. The 072 is actually for the switches. But yes, that is how you can do it. So, completely off topic, squirrel memory on the Hymic, but this is what I wanted to get out to y'all so that y'all can see there is ways to make the menards track look a whole lot more prototypical. Again, once I find the chicken grit, not chick grit, we'll do a ballast on this. That way y'all can actually see the full test piece completely done, which will set about, probably about like that, and completely ballast it, and make it look like a final project, you know? Why not? It does. Might turn around and do a 30-inch piece and do a complete display piece, you know? Who knows? But as always, please hit the like and subscribe button. You know, it helps the channel grow. It helps me out. It helps you out. We all learn from each other here. Again, I do not ask for support in any way at all. I feel like this is my channel. It's up to me to support it. That's what I like to do, and I'm just old school like that. As always, keep the shiny side up, rubber down. I will see y'all on the next video this weekend, because we got some work to do on the cattle cars and the Kiki Shuro Articulate. Y'all have a great evening, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing y'all this weekend. Y'all take it easy. Good night. See y'all this weekend.